While the Lakers are out of the 5, North Footscray rolls Wyndham Vale and Parkside keep flying in women's footy, but unfortunately will be the last season for them in the WFNL. Hello and welcome to the WFNL Show, proudly supported by Arrow Transport. Brett Thomas, Cal Rowe is back, Andrew Wilson, Wilo is here as well. And guys, I guess before we get stuck into the matches that were across the weekend, email dropped in all inboxes league-wide and Cal, Parkside. We know they're doing well in both TIV Division 1 and women's footy, but unfortunately leaving the WFNL. Yeah,
I think it's been something that certainly across the league we've heard whispers of and conversations about for the last few years. Certainly from a women's footy perspective, you know, they've been looking for a challenge all year and no one has really kind of come to the table. So I can understand a drive to want to play better, more competitive footy at the standard that you're playing. Certainly their alignment with the junior club that they've been working with over the last couple of years has kind of paid dividends for them. So,
and that's Ascot Vale, Willow, I believe?
Yeah, it is. So the application's in, so we wait and see if it's going to get approved. I'm not sure how that process works, whether the ADFL have to approve it, AFL Vic. I'm sure the WFNL will have a say in it, but yeah, it's a bit of a shock that not a shock that it's gone through, but that it's happening because they're a foundation club, Parkside, you know, premierships in all divisions. I mean, they fought back from winning a Division 2 premiership a decade ago. Club nearly fell over. They went back to Division 3 the year after, and they've worked their way back up to Division 1. So it's going to be disappointing if they leave.
Well, you saw them on the weekend match of the day against Yarraville Seddon. We'll start there. And Yarraville, they're just clear top of Div 1 at the moment.
Yeah, 10 wins in a row for Yarraville Seddon. They ended up winning by 47 points in the end after kicking 8-2 in the opening quarter. Parkside fought back hard through the second and third quarters. They kept Yarraville Seddon to 1 point in that second quarter, but they got the margin back to 12 points in the third quarter, but they couldn't get over that hump. And then in the last quarter, Yarraville Seddon were able to kick the last 4 goals of the game and get away with their 10th win in a row. Up front for Yarraville Seddon, Lockie Green was fantastic with 5 goals. Akol Deng, great in the ruck and gave great service to Michael Selsby, the reigning Barry Priest medalist, while the leading goal kicker of Division 1, Zach Morris, kicked 5, but he went off with a shoulder injury late in the game. Did come back on, but after the game had it iced up, so I don't know if he's going to be questionable for this weekend.
And Spotswood knocking off the Lakers on the weekend. We mentioned off the top. Caroline Springs now out of the top 5. Their percentage is huge though, so although Spotswood are still within a chance of making the finals, obviously with their percentage they're just going to have to basically almost win every game. Yeah. A safe way to get into the finals.
Yeah, Woodsman got to win and they've got to hope others lose, so it's going to be tough ask for the Woodsman. While Caroline Springs, they have lost 4 in a row. You look at Parkside, Albion and Werribee districts, all top 5 seeds. Spotswood was probably the shock one, but it shows how close Division 1 is this season. It's an incredible season. It's a really toss of the coin. Even though Yarraville Seddon are on top of the ladder by 2 games, I still think it's a pretty wide open Division 1 this season.
And Steve O'Brien, coach of Spotswood, joins us on the audio version of this podcast, so check it out. Any other results you'd like to...
Yeah, Parkside, so Hoppers Crossing moved into the top 5 with a win over Sunshine. Got over the line very, very late in that game. Probably ended Sunshine's hopes for a top 5 finish this season after they started the season so well. They've lost 3 or 4 in a row after a big win against Werribee Districts a few weeks ago. They haven't been able to get the 4 points, so well done there to Hoppers Crossing to be back in the top 5. Now they're game clear of Caroline Springs, amazingly, who is sitting 6th spot.
And Newport got a win on the weekend as well. They could be final spoiler in the back end of the year.
They'd like to be, yeah. Ahmed kicked 5 goals. Suzanne Kadur continues to have a great season, kicked 3 goals. They knocked off Altona comfortably because Altona had a bit of an upset win last week, but back to earth for the Vikings, unfortunately. So, but Newport, they've got Parkside this week. Can they be spoilers again?
Yeah, absolutely. As you said, they've got some quality players up forward. There's no doubt about that. Div 2, North Footscray, Wyndham Vale. What's it like to play at that venue there, Kel? That you're very familiar with?
It is one that I'm very familiar with. Look, when there's a wind and a prevailing wind, it does make it really, really hard, depending which quarter you finish with the wind. If you're battling against it in that last quarter, you can be really up against it.
Yeah, and I think North Footscray were battling against the wind in the last quarter. Held scoreless, but they managed to hold on. 19 points up at 3/4 time. Ended up being a 6-point win for North Footscray, who go the top spot on the ladder and look like they've secured their minor premiership for season 2026 in Division 2.
So we can only assume, given, well, I haven't seen the game, that did North Footscray park the bus in the last quarter? How did they not score at all and
I'm
sneak
guessing,
over the win?
I'm guessing they did. And Kelly, you played there. How hard is it when it's windy at Wyndham Vale?
Your ball will get held up in the face of goals.
Can go
for
backwards
sure.
at times.
Yeah.
I think, it's that bad out there. But
Parking the bus, of course, something we associate with the FIFA World Cup, and a couple of handy players came back from the World Cup to play for West Footscray.
The Stoluto boys came back and they got the win, West Footscray, after a really disappointing game last week against North Footscray, where they held goalless. They put 11 on the board and snuck home by 4 points and probably secured top 3 of a double chance for season 2026.
Any VAR controversies in that game? That's all we're talking about with the World Cup at the moment.
Unaware of any.
We've only got one camera out there.
Yeah.
So. What about in St Vincent Private Hospital, Werribee Senior Women's on the weekend?
Yeah, definitely some good games. We got probably the best of the conditions across the weather of the weekend. Big win for my own team, also for Parkside, of course. No surprises there. Laverton and Suns game, bit of a rogue one. We probably have expected Laverton to meet the physicality of the Suns based on earlier wins and meetings, but in this one they only kicked 3 behinds and lost by 60 points to the Suns.
We should actually mention Laverton Suns in Div 2. Willow was called off, I think, at 3/4 time.
Yeah, there was an injury to one of the Laverton players. It was great that the trainers from both sides got together to make sure that the player was well looked after, and well done by both clubs with the way they supported the player. And from all reports, they're doing fine out of hospital.
Another senior women's game, which was a pretty big celebration, was of course the Friday night match-up out at Galvin Park, the revered sort of Friday night fixture that everybody hates except for Werribee.
Why is it hated?
It's just the slog down the highway, the cold nights. It's a real sort of.
But if you win, then you're up and about for the weekend.
Absolutely. But the Centrals don't often lose that Fortress game at home, and certainly Friday was no exception to that.
Yep.
They got up over Point Cook Centrals by 56 points, and it was of course a big celebration, as we chatted about on the pod. Lynette Bajega.
Yep.
Her 200th game, she kicked 2 goals.
Yep.
Bug's been around the comp for a long time and also coaches the next generation of Werribee players too. So
yep.
Good work, Bub.
Yep, well done to her. All right, time now to catch up with Eloise Fox. Let's get a wrap of what happened in Belgravia Apparel Netball across the senior men's and women's across the weekend. Take it away, Eloise.
Over the last 2 weeks, our Western Football Netball League netball competition has hosted our NAIDOC round, split over a bye round. So we've had our Division 1, 2 and men's play in week 1, and then Division 3 through to Division 8 play in week 2. NAIDOC round is really important to us, particularly as the western suburbs of Melbourne hold the largest population of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people in the greater area of Melbourne. So it's really important that we use this opportunity to spread a light on their contributions to community sport, just as well as the community in general. So this is a really important round for us, and it was really exciting to be able to hold an acknowledgement of country and to display how proud we are of our cultures over the last 2 weeks. In last week's game of the round, we had our Division 3 top of the ladder clash between Sunshine and Hawks. Sunshine came out on top quite convincingly, which will be very exciting to see come finals if anyone can match the top contending team. This Friday, we are heading into Pride Round. It is our 4th last round before we head into our final series. Very excited to be showcasing another themed round within our league, one that is going to promote how inclusive and safe we want to show to our players and club officials, and as well as outside the league. As a club, we really want to promote ourselves as being a really safe environment. This week's game of the round is in our Division 1-2 between Hawks Sapphire, who are currently placed 3rd, and Albanvale Cobras Blue, who are currently placed 2nd. Last time these two teams met was in our first round of grading, where Albanvale came out on top only by 4 goals. It'll be very interesting to see what happens this time, as first time they met, Hawks Sapphire were missing their youngster Peyton Samecki, who is in our Netball Victoria pathway as a state athlete. And also Auburn Vale have seen the return of Charlie King, particularly in the attacking end, returned from injury last week in our last round of NAIDOC round. So it will be very exciting to see the matchup between these two teams and who can come out on top this week.
Thanks to Local Footy Hub, you can now stream Belgravia Apparel netball competition matches. Head to localfootyhub/stream on a Friday night to catch some of the key netball matchups taking place each week. All right, special effort award winners. You guys can help me out with this. We might as well start with TIV Division 1. Each player receives, of course, a pair of compression tights. By the way, if you have been an award winner and you're wondering where they are, check your email, because Arabelle told us, that new media manager of the WFNL, that some are slipping through to junk mail. She's yet to hear from some players, so do that or reach out to the league. But yeah, Div 1, who took out that award on the weekend there?
Me, that was me, wasn't it? I'm going to find my sheet, sorry. Lockie Green kicked 5 goals to Yarraville Setting. He was brilliant up forward. Came into the game with 8 goals, kicked 5 for the afternoon. He was a great target up forward for Yarraville Setting. He was terrific all afternoon in really tough conditions. He shone brightly and got the 4 points for his side and 10 wins in a row.
Women's footy?
Well, this one's a good one for me. It's actually my teammate, Yuri Graco-Wilps. Yuri has been a force in our forward line for the last couple of matches, kicking 9 goals on the weekend against Carrow, 4 against North Footscray, and then 5 against Laverton in the previous 2 games.
We couldn't get her the 10 on the weekend?
Close. Close. We tried, to be honest. But yeah, Yuri is just, they're one of, off and on field, of great personality and reliable teammate, very, very skilled.
Okay, very good. In netball, our skin special effort award went to Pyongyang Nyatang. We hope we're saying that right. Plays Division 3 for the Auburn Vale Cobras. She was an absolute force in the weekend. She has been, we're reliably told, all season. She plays in the goalkeeper position. They beat Spotswood last Friday night, 51-21. She is always a threat, especially in the air. She loves to have a fly at the ball, so well done to her. And in the juniors, Molly Bogdanovich from Werribee Central's under 16 girls side. She displays great team first value. She actually jumped across to Albion and played for them on the weekend. So she had a great weekend for 2 teams in the same game. So well done to Molly, our skin special effort award winners. All right, plays of the week time. And guys, there was wasn't just a backflip, it was a cartwheel into a backflip on the weekend, Willow. Yeah,
the landing wasn't quite stuck. I don't know what the Russian judge would have given it, but it was a good effort. But I saw a beautiful goal by Michael Salisbury against Parkside. 3 blind turns with a left foot snap. It was fantastic.
And Kel, what do you think is going to be in the top 5 or should be in the top 5?
Well, there were definitely a few bags kicked in the women's competition over the weekend, and the race for leading goal kickers heating up. Larissa Renault is sitting pretty on top with 39. She added 4 to her tally over the weekend. But very closely behind is Alicia Casley of the Spurs on 33. She kicked 5. That difference could be a lot closer, but Alicia's just spent a couple of weeks in Bali and missed a few games. So, who knows? But the run home, plenty of opportunities to get some more ball in the boot.
Around the body, tumbles to Kingston. Katani over with over 60. Spun the other way. Now goes the other way. 180 snaps. Wow. That is one of the greatest goals you'll ever see there. Michael Salisbury with an absolute snaps around the body, tumbles to Kingston. Katani over with over 60. Spun the other way. Now goes the other way. 180 snaps. Wow. And that is one of the greatest goals you'll ever see there. Michael Salisbury with an absolute ripper.
It was like a pinball.
That's ridiculous.
Here is the Arrow Transport Challenge for round 14.
We're here for the Arrow Transport Challenge with the Western Football Netball League, competing with different teams and different players.
Get moving with Arrow.
Shane Emery, Western Rams Football Club. Well, that's gone.
Jack Knight from Spotswood.
Lachlan Green, Yale 7 Football Club. Nice.
Jack Robinson, Altona Football Netball Club. Hey?
Sam Roberts Tarnick Football Club.
St Cadwa Newport Football Club.
Okay, Cal, a new segment that we introduced while you were away, Team of the Week. So we're not picking the Team of the Week, it's just the actual club that you thought was a standout across the weekend. Do you want to go first?
Yeah, sure. Well, I'd probably put my money on Werribee Centrals. You know, they another great win at home on a Friday night. That is always, up and about for them. But definitely really securing their spot in third on the ladder at the moment. So.
Wilo?
I'm going to go with Yarra Seddon Eagles. 10 wins in a row, Division 1, 2 games clear on top. I think they're probably premiership favourites at this stage by a mile.
Yeah, and maybe the last couple of episodes we haven't, they've sort of flown under the radar. We've focused a lot on Parkside, but they've lost a couple in a row. But yeah, Yarraville, as we've mentioned, the clear standout there. For mine, I think North Footscray absolutely embarrassed the Roosters the week before, and then to get a great win in difficult conditions against Wyndham Vale has really thrown open Div 2. Let's look ahead to the weekend coming up. Round 14 in the men's, Div 1, Div 2, and round 13 in women's footy. What are you looking forward to, Kel?
Well, aside from my own match, it's going to be a good hit out between third and fourth on the ladder. I think the one to watch will be the rematch between Parkside Spurs and the Wyndham Suns. Suns have been one of those teams that have come about as close as you can get to the Parkside on this pretty amazing season that they've had. But that should be set up for a pretty good contested match, I reckon.
Div 2, West Footscray, Wyndham Vale. Can you make a case for the Roosters given some of the players that
not at this stage? No, I think still Wyndham Vale will go in clear favourites and win comfortably.
TIV Division 1, you did mention one, which is Newport Parkside.
Yeah, that's
Parkside trying to...
Yeah, Newport's trying to play spoilers at this stage, and I think they'll have a red-hot crack at Parkside. They've had some terrific battles over the years when they've been in Division 2. There's a couple other final shaping games. You've got Yarraville and Caroline Springs. I mean, this is desperate times now for Caroline Springs. They sit a game outside the top 5 and 6th spot, and they play the top side, Yarraville who've won 10 games. But for Caroline Springs, they are the only team to beat Yarraville this season. So take what you want from that. And the other big game is Werribee Districts and Hoppers Crossing. That's going to be 2nd versus 5th. The Warriors have got to keep on winning to maintain their place in the top 5. Or the Tigers still need to wrap up that top 3 spot. They're 2nd at the moment, but they're a game clear of the chasing pack, but a win will certainly help them get that double chance.
Now, the match of the round isn't any of those matches you've mentioned. 88.9, the Win FM Caravan is going where this weekend?
We're going to Sunshine. They're taking on Albion. These two sides had a pretty good rival in Division 2 a couple of years ago. Sunshine were the spoilers in that grand final. Albion were going for the perfect season and fell short as Sunshine got the win that afternoon. So Sunshine will be hoping that they can be final spoiler for Albion this year.
As always, 88.9 Win FM. Broadcast starts at 1:30.
1:30, yes.
First bounce at 10 past 2. Sportscast Australia broadcasting that. Go to the local footy hub /stream to watch it. As you said, you can watch Div 1, Div 2 and Belgravia Apparel netball matches across the weekend. Kel, great to have you back.
Thank you.
Willow, 3 votes to you as well.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks for joining us on the WFNL Show. Proudly supported by Arrow Transport.